everyone, welcome to the Miss Sayé Show. This week, special guest. I have two beautiful ladies here, Delara and Leila June. Welcome to the show today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for inviting us, Miss Sayé. We're thrilled to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Delara June. She's one of the youngest entrepreneurs. Delara, you are in 4th grade now?
Well, I'm going to be in 5th grade.
5th grade. You finished 4th grade online, I assume.
Yeah.
Lovely. So the reason that we have Leila June and Delara June here today is because they have a very interesting initiative that they have been working on for a very long time. I have been a big fan. They have an app and they have lots of resources online that we will be sharing with you guys. Maybe we can show the app after this conversation. The initiative called Chef Koochooloo. I love this name. Could you please tell us what is Chef Koochooloo?
Chef means like a person who cooks, and Koochooloo means little in Farsi and many other languages. So together it makes Chef Koochooloo, little chef.
Little chef. So chef means somebody who's cooking, is a chef, and Koochooloo means little. So Chef Koochooloo means a little chef, which is you. For now, till you become Chef Bozorg. Wonderful. Well, can you tell us how did you come up with this idea of Chef Koochooloo, and what are the missions at this moment, and what are you hoping to accomplish?
Well, it all started when I was getting bullied at school because of my healthy lunch. And then I went to my mom, and then she was like, okay, this is not right. So she went to go teach my class about healthy eating and how much it is important. So then a few days later, like the parents were like, oh, our kids really like this. Can you do it again? So then my mom quit her job and then made Chef Koochooloo to life.
Yes. Lovely. So you were taking a home-cooked meal to school, but it was different. So kids weren't open to it and they were teasing you about it. Is that what it was?
Yes.
Like, what were the meals that you were taking to school that it was new to them?
Like Persian meals, especially.
Like what?
Like the
sabzi,
yeah,
polo.
I want some.
Lentil soup.
Oh, lentil soup. So they were healthy and different, and because they didn't understand it, they were teasing you, but then you went about it in a very positive way. Leila June, could you elaborate when you hear that Delara June have this problem in school? What idea did you come up with to encounter it with a positive action?
Yes, so Delara had just started kindergarten at a public school where a lot of the children were on the government-funded lunch school, but those lunches are usually made of, chicken nuggets, hamburgers, pizza, and hot dogs with a side of chips, chocolate milk as the drink. And so meanwhile, for Delara, I was making her homemade meals, not just Persian. I'm married to a Belgian. We both lived in a number of different countries. So I would create healthy dishes from those cultures I've lived in. I've lived in Russia, Mexico, Chile. And so then her friends would kind of make fun of her because the food was different. And she would come home upset. And she told me, Mom, can I please just have money to buy the same lunch as the kids at school? And I said, sure, honey, I don't have a problem giving you an allowance so you can buy your lunch. But before I do that, I just want to sit you down and talk to you about how hot dogs are made. And then I also want to talk to you about this recipe, this lentil soup that my grandmother made, that her grandmother taught her the recipe. And then she taught it to me. me, and now I'm going to teach you how to make it. And then one day I hope you can teach it to your daughter. And so as we began cooking together, she got really interested. And I said, I will give you the money, and I will also give you the story, and you choose. This is going to be your decision. And so after we cooked together, I think the first thing we made was ashereshte. And she started loving it. And she said, you know what, Mom, I don't want to eat hot dog. I don't ever want to eat a hot dog again after we talked about the process. And she went to school and she told her classmates about it. And her teacher called me and was like, she was a very young teacher, was her first year of teaching, and she was in America. So she told me, I don't know what you told these kids, but whatever you told them, it worked. And I was wondering if you could come and give the same lesson. So we went and we did a sample lesson in her class, and a lot of Latino students were enrolled in that school. So we chose a Mexican recipe. A healthy recipe was jicama. I still remember jicama, cucumber, cilantro salad with lemon juice, and the kids got involved chopping. And the next day I started getting like parents asking me, hey, what was that green vegetable you gave to my kid? My kid never ate vegetable before. Now he wants me to go buy it. And I was like, do you mean a cucumber? And then, yeah. And
That's awesome.
how bad the problem was, basically. And remember, we are in California, which is supposed to be one of the healthiest states in the nation. So I couldn't even imagine what it's like in other places. And soon the teacher asked me if I could go volunteer and do this. And it kind of created a positive atmosphere in the class. The kids started feeling proud of their culture, because each time we would pick, I would say, okay, where are your parents from? And then we would highlight their culture.
Beautiful.
And then soon, it kind of grew. The curriculum grew. Other schools started reaching out. And now how we describe Chef Koochooloo is we are an international education platform that teaches children math, science, cultural studies through healthy cooking. Because as our curriculum grew, we went to another school, and the teacher told me, oh my God, this was a great way of teaching NGSS. And I was like, NGSS, what's that? And they were like, oh yeah, that's next generation science standards. I'm like, oh no, I failed science. I'm not a good science teacher. They're like, oh yes, but you were teaching science standard, lesson point 3.5, and you taught this. And I was like, oh,
interesting.
So that's how it grew, yes.
Which brings me to my next question. What does STEAM stand for, and how do you combine it with cooking?
STEAM stands for science, technology, math, engineering, and art.
Science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics.
Delarajun, can you please tell us what's the mission and vision of the Chef Koochooloo from here on going forward?
Our vision is to improve the health, happiness, and education of kids worldwide.
Beautiful. I love your global mission and I fully support it. Thank you so much.
We were fortunate enough to receive a lot of support from the government. We have been funded by the National Science Foundation, and we just got a new grant from them. And our mission is to create the curriculum and bring everything to an online experience, especially with the coronavirus. We are trying to make our app so complete and independent from having to add in a person such as myself or other additional teachers to take this to schools to teach. So we want to create an seamless user experience where we could just provide the school with our application, and the school teachers can use that to teach. And we did a lot of research with about 100 educators, and they told us, most schools can allow 1 hour per week for this curriculum.
Lovely.
Yes, and we are aligning it, we're aligning the learning objectives with the national standards. So by teaching a Chef Koochooloo class, the teacher will check off like their math, science,
Lovely.
and ELA, which is kind of English learning arts as well, so that they're not just teaching cooking, but they're also taking care of what is on their to-do list as a teacher to teach.
Very well. And this is hopefully being implemented all over US, or you guys are working in California currently? Where are you at right now in your process?
We are based in California, so
Right.
we started our pilots. We did pilots in California, in Santiago, Chile, and we also tested the concept in Switzerland this year. But now, because of coronavirus, we are just working at home, focused purely on making this online experience superior. And the plan is, yes, we hope that by February, which is when the next sales cycle is for school, we hope to roll this out to schools nationwide in America. That's our first
Lovely.
one.
And I see I have done some international work. So it's definitely could be a global platform to connect with all the kids. It would be so awesome to have also a way for all the kids who are interested in this globally to stay connected through this platform. I don't know if you have that. Do you have that available to them, that they can message each other? Somebody in Chile can message somebody in California.
That is the feature we've looked into. However, because we are dealing with elementary school kids,
Right.
there is privacy laws that are complicated that we need to observe that prevents us from allowing that feature where they can message for children under 13. We think we are applying for additional grants to bring this to middle school level, that could, or high school level. So for those platforms, it makes more sense. For this platform, we are hiring a full-time researcher. Actually, her first day on the job is today. So we will also task her with finding out more about how we can do this legally and ethically in a way that, doesn't endanger kids online.
Explaining. Dela Rajun, I want to ask you, do you have a quick recipe or example that you can share with us? We want to hear it from you. Any simple recipe that you can make an example of?
The Persian yogurt.
Okay, tell me about that. What is the recipe and what do you learn through that?
It's a cucumber and yogurt.
Uh-huh.
It's like a yogurt dish. And so you get like plain yogurt and you put some dried raisins and chopped up cucumbers, salt and pepper. And then,
Masto khiyar.
yeah.
I got it. Yes, I love that myself very much. So it's very healthy. It's not processed. It's not coming from a box. And you chop up cucumber, you add it to your yogurt, salt and pepper, and dried raisin. That's a great addition too. I love that. So, and then you can pack that, take that to school, and have a healthy meal.
And we even make the yogurt at home.
You even make the yogurt at home. That's even better. How do you make it? How long is the process of making the yogurt at home? Do you help with that as well?
Yes, it takes like 2 days.
2 days. Oh, you have to let it sit for a while. That's incredible to be able to make this at home. I assume it doesn't have too many preservative when you're making it fresh at home. That's incredible. Well, you're lucky to have a mom like that.
Kind of a family effort. We also got inspired by this idea, not just Delari's story, but my husband, who is French Belgian, he used to eat a lot of cheese and bread in Europe. But here, when he eats cheese or bread, he gets really sick.
Right.
So we started noticing that it must be in the way that because when he's back in Europe, he can handle
Right.
the gluten. So we realized there was a lot of what we are eating here. Even in California, when you make a
Right.
conscious effort, there's something wrong with the dairy products and the products that include gluten. So we started trying to make a lot of our things at home so that he could also eat it. And so that inspired a lot of the recipes that went into Chef Koochooloo.
Well, thank you for sharing that, because I completely agree with that. I travel a lot as a global citizen. I mean, not right now as much, but 19 countries a year. And I knew when I go to Europe, that's where I can eat my bread, that's where I can have my dairy, and my body feels good. However, I would have the same food here, I would immediately gain weight, or I would feel bloated and my body wasn't happy. So it was giving me feedback. So there is some sort of a different standards in Europe versus US that I have experienced personally. So I completely agree with that. When I go to Europe, my body feels happy. I can eat the baguette, I can have the cheese, and completely fine. But when I'm here, I will stay away from all of this. So that's something that if I wish we could slowly transition to, be more like Europeans, I would say, in that have a better standards of food. But in your opinion, in your idea of what is it to be a global citizen, how do you think the program of Chef Koochooloo is contributing to that and teaching our future generations, such as Dela Rajun, to be a global citizen?
For each lesson, for each Chef Koochooloo lesson, the experience begins where the child chooses a country on a 3D interactive globe, and let's say they go to Germany, they choose Germany. So we teach them first basic facts about Germany. Where is Germany on the globe, which is very important for many American students. They don't even learn about other countries till 5th grade. So already just being able to understand there's other countries, other ways of life, and where this is located in the globe, it's already beginning to open up their mind. Then as they start reading about Germany, we kind of have a fun fact, something that kids get excited about. So we say, did you know that gummy bears were invented in Germany? Let's say. So
Were they?
Yes.
That's awesome. That's a fun fact for me. I love gummy bears.
Yeah, so kids out of, because when usually like how geography, even in Iran or other countries taught, right? Like, okay, this is in Europe and they have rivers and forests and, but most kids at this age don't care so much. But first we make that emotional connection. So this is the country where gummy bears were invented. And all of a sudden every kid ears open up. Oh, I want to learn more about this country.
Germany.
Yeah. So, and then we start teaching them, then, there's the story of a boy or a girl and like how they're celebrating a specific German holiday and what they're making a dish and what this dish signifies. And then you learn about differences in how people eat something or celebrate something. And then that could be okay too. It's not, it's not the same way we do it, but it's interesting. And then as they begin cooking, we infuse math and science. And at the end of each lesson, we have the section where we talk about, did you know? And so we talk about how an issue is impacting kids in that country. So I named Germany, for instance, because Germany, Belgium, Sweden, these are some of the countries where it's the best countries to live as a kid. Most kids have like the very good healthcare. Everything is going well when you compare like children's lives to children living in Peru or Iran, let's say. But then, so for Germany, it was a hard one to pick a topic that's impacting kids. So we picked on immigration. Is one of the countries. Everything is wonderful as long as you're German, but if you're an immigrant child, there's significant differences. So then we then we have kind of a discussion for the class. We say, okay, do you know what is an immigrant? And what should you do if a child moves to our classroom and they're different? Like, how do you think they feel? How do you think we can make them feel more welcome? Why do you think people feel this way against immigrants? What do you think we can do as a class or as a community to improve that experience for these kids? So it kind of opens up discussions. And by that point, kids have kind of formed the affinity for that culture to begin with. So they're more open and they're, more comfortable discussing these topics.
So the ingredients that we're going to be using for this recipe is semolina, cilantro, whole grain mung beans, yogurt, ginger, ground cumin, salt, oil.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. It's a definitely multi-dimensional app. You guys started wanting to tackle one issue, and you became, and you are serving in such a larger scale. Thank you so much for what you're doing, and thank you so much for coming on the show to share with us about Chef Koochooloo. We will share some of your content that you have provided for us to our viewers, as well as your social media handles. So if they want to get in touch with you and ask questions, or maybe collaborate with you and help you to expand your vision throughout the world. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you everyone for joining the Miss Sayé Show. See you guys next Saturday.
Thank you, Miss Saye. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.